everyone, it's Justine, and I have 4 card ideas coming at you today using the My Favorite Things new release. This is the Queen for a Day stamp set, and the coordinating die that is a crown. Has many really clever sayings today like birthday queen, queen for the day, etc., and are perfect to coordinate with this die. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this die out. I grabbed a piece of gold paper and I'm just cutting around it slightly larger than the die, so I don't really have a lot of waste when it's all finished. So I'm going to run that through my Gemini Junior die cutting machine, and then it will be all cut out for me to use. Today's cards are fairly simple and only take a few minutes to make. Some of them require more materials than others, so I tried to keep it to a variety in today's video. So I'm just going to lay this onto my Neenah Solar White card panel that measures 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. I'm then going to grab my sentiment here that I'm going to use to stamp my card, and the one that I chose here I'm going to stamp using some Black Onyx VersaFine ink because that's my favorite ink to do stamping with that is sentiments, because it's super detailed and crisp and I absolutely love it. So have a royally fabulous day, I think, is just a perfect card for a generic card to be given to a friend. So I hope you enjoyed that first card there. That's super quick and easy, very simple, and requires minimal supplies. The next stamp set that I'm using is called Painted Flowers, and this is a really beautiful stamp. It's not too often I see stamps in this style from MFT. They're usually very, when they're flowers, usually solid flowers, and so it's really nice to see one that has a bit of a layering with it, and I like the subtle and very artistic look you get at the end, almost as if you painted it yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and do some stamping here. So I'm using the Garden Party ink to stamp the stem. Then I'm going to go in with 3 shades of purple here. I started off with some Sweet 16 and stamped the first layer of this stamp. I grabbed the second layer and did this one in Flirty Fuchsia. And then I grabbed my masking tape here just to continue on with the stamping. So what I like about this stamp set is everything that coordinates with each other has a line around it so you know which stamps belong to which set. For the pink flowers, I am using a combination of It's a Girl, Be Mine, and Party Dress from Catherine Pooler, and I am stamping these stems here so that they stamp onto the masking paper as well. I wanted the stamps to all have the same length of a stem when they were all finished, which is why I added that purple tape at the bottom as a little bit of a mask. So now I'm just going in with the rest of the layers for this card here, and I'm adding each one of them. And unfortunately for the third and final layered stamp, I wasn't too sure what it was for, and I stamped it right at the bottom when it was supposed to be stamped at the top. So I quickly fixed that, and the flower does look a little bit funny in the end, but hey, mistakes happen, and this is a handmade card, not a Hallmark card. So now that that's all finished, I'm able to peel off the purple tape to reveal stems that are all the same length regardless of how they stamped. And I'm going to go ahead and add my sentiment now. This is from the Brushstroke Expressions stamp set, and this is really, really gorgeous. I love the fact that it looks handmade or almost brush lettered, and it has those little subtle things in there like little marks that make it sort of distressed, and it's absolutely beautiful when it's all finished. I loved this font. The next stamp that the next die that I'm going to be working with rather is a fun birthday die, and this one is called the Die-namics Happy Birthday Balloon Trio. And this one here, it cuts into the cardstock, so it doesn't cut them out per se, although when you cut it out, you're going to get happy birthday letters as well as some balloons that you can save for another card if you'd like. So I cut these directly into my 4 by 5 1/4 card panel, and I'm going to remove the balloons as well as the happy birthday from it. Now you can stick whatever you want behind this. I'm going to use a toner sheet as well as some foil, and I'm going to do a little bit of foiling here, and I'm going to foil just a plain sheet here to stick behind the die cut. So you could also do a distress inked background, you could color them with markers. It's completely up to you how you want to go about coloring this. So I put I opened up a piece of parchment paper, I added my toner sheet and my foil on top facing up, and I'm running it through my Royal Sovereign laminator 2 times just to be on the safe side. Toner sheets are really great if you want to foil die cuts because you're able to die cut the sheet after it's finished. I recommend foiling first, then die cutting. Just gives a more crisp impression, and there you go. It's an absolutely perfectly foiled piece of paper now. And it's going to be a lot of fun too when I attach this behind the card. So it's going to have a lot of fun colors on it. So I'm going to go ahead now and add my Tombow Mono Liquid Adhesive to the back of the die cut. And I'm making sure to add in all the little spaces around it as well to make sure it's well adhered. I'm going to then stick this and I'm going to make sure that the stripes are vertical because the horizontal really didn't make the contrast very clear throughout the die cut. And then I'm just going to add glue all over the background to mount on top of a card base. So now I'm going to go into my fourth card here. I hope you enjoyed those first 3 quick ideas. This one here is a lot of fun as well, and you could really just randomize it with whatever you like. So this happy birthday stamp is extremely bold, so you have the happy birthday, and it also comes with to you. It also comes with stripes, some circles, and some stars. So it really is a great one to do for random stamping. So this stamp set is called Happy Birthday to You. I'm going to be stamping the happy birthday with the same black ink I used throughout the video. And I'm going to stamp this a couple of times because it's a solid black. I do want to make sure that it is completely crisp and clear. It does mean, however, because I'm stamping and versifying, that it will take a little bit longer to dry by doing these multiple layers in such a thick area and such a thick font. So just be careful not to do any smudging. It did happen to me a little bit, so I did have to go back in and restamp it. Next up, I'm just going in with some random stamping. So I am following my rule of 3s at first, meaning that I make a triangle with 3 of the images. So for example, I used 3 of the large stars and I made a triangle shape using 3 different color inks. I'm working with Party Dress, Tiki Torch, as well as Flirty Fuchsia for this card. And these are just some fun color palette that you could use to make a fun celebration card. So now I'm going in with some of the other sizes of stars here, and again just sticking to sort of a random 3 pattern, not necessarily always a triangle, but I'm trying my best to stick to a triangle shape regardless of which star I might be working with at that point. So I'm just adding random stars everywhere. It's something that you can do with really so many of different types of stamps that you have. Just don't ignore those little stamps that come in your stamp sets because they really are some of the ones that make the most stunning cards. I'm then going in with a Copic multi-liner here in, I believe it was 0.08, the ones I was using, or 0.8, sorry, and I went in and just added some dots for some contrast in between, and I thought that looked really cool too. So just a quick mention, this video tutorial is a part of the new Craft Stash blog hop that's going on my blog. There are tons of prizes available, and what everyone is doing is they are playing with something that is new to them, whether that is a new product or a new technique or something maybe that's been sitting in their stash that they haven't had a chance to use. So be sure to check out the hop. There's tons of fun inspiration and there are 3 days worth of them, so if you'd like some more card ideas, they're there. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel as usual, and I'll see you tomorrow for another video.